So I played the Concord beta for 5 minutes. Get this shit out of here. Embarrassing. Man, these devs are so lost. They're lost.
Yeah.
I knew it! I knew you would try, but you couldn't do it! You couldn't take me out! I'm too strong! I'm too powerful! You ponies may have taken a huge chunk of my ear, but you haven't taken my spirit! You sent your best, you sent your Forspokens, you sent your foam stars, and now you have sent your Concord, and none of them could kill me! My PC was an inch within its life, but I uninstalled that Concord. And right as I did it, a bullet came and took a chunk of my ear. I warned the ponies, if you come at the king, you best not miss. Now, to be honest, it could have been anybody who set this up. Daddy Fritz made a lot of enemies on this website over the years. I mean, the vast majority are PlayStation fanboys who have wished literal death upon me. Lord, I don't cry no more, don't look to the sky no more. When I find out which one of you did it, you're gonna be looking a lot worse than the man you hired to try and take me out. You were scared of my preview of Concord, weren't you, ponies? That's okay, I saw you guys on Twitter acting like complete maniacs, trying to defend this piece of trash game that they basically charged you for in order to get access to the beta. That's right. In order to play this beta, you had to pre-order the f***ing game, which, of course, I didn't do. Instead, I received a very generous code from Games Hero on Twitter.
You know what, Greg? You're not a good friend.
Thank you, good sir, for almost killing my PC. And well, as you can expect, it was an impressive 900 people who showed up to play the beta.
The numbers don't lie!
The game has issues, many problems. Perhaps PlayStation just got lucky with Helldivers 2, I don't know. But their other showings have all been terrible. And not just terrible as video games, but also terrible because of, well, the abundance of DEI/ESG points they're trying to score. And believe me when I tell you, this is the most DEI-ridden game Sony has published thus far. Of course, that's not its biggest issue, because even a good game can withstand that test. But unfortunately, when it comes to Concord, I can honest to God say, they should not be charging you to test this game. They should be paying you to play it. That was the sentiment I left with. I guess this is a short review of the PlayStation app, right? I mean, there's not much to say about it other than it's got a search bar for friends. There you go, you join the squad. You can look at your friends list, you can look at your trophies, and you can look at your overall profile, and that's really about it. Very, very, very basic, but not too intrusive.
Not too intrusive, no.
Yeah, so I don't really have too much complaints about the PlayStation app. I think it's fine. All right, let's do a match. Massively, massively undercooked. I understand that this is in beta, but of course, having tried it, I think it's important to list off all the problems. For starters, performance. Now, Griffin said in his preview, performance was rock solid. That was not my experience. The game was a stuttering mess, no matter which settings I changed it to. And by default, the game already had most of the settings I would have picked. I don't know what happened in our playthrough, but me and Delta did not experience that PlayStation greatness. We were experiencing Ubislop-like performance and greatness. And there's nothing worse than stuttering frames in a first-person shooter. Fiddling with settings won't do anything for you. I'm not sure if this is an AMD thing. I'm running off a 3080 and an Intel processor. Perhaps the experience for AMD-only users is different. I couldn't tell you. But on my end, what we have here is not good, and I'm not sure they have enough time to fix it. Another thing to note, I'm not sure the game has actual dedicated full-screen mode. If your gaming setup like mine is using 2 monitors, oftentimes for some unexplainable reason, the mouse wheel will drag off the monitor I'm playing Concord on and go right to my left monitor, forcing me to have to alt-tab back into the game, and this happened on several occasions. By default, the game was already in full screen mode, and well, changing it to borderless window didn't resolve the issue. So what we have here is this game just flat out does not have a native full screen. I shouldn't have to explain to people why it's bad. That 1 minute I'm controlling the game, the next minute my mouse is clicking on the YouTube page instead. Other than that though, game feels responsive, control layout is not bad. However, I will say movement does not feel good in this game. You have anywhere from turtle's pace to snail's pace, especially if you're picking one of the tank characters. If you want to move around, you will have trouble keeping up with your team if you decide to play any one of these characters. When it comes to playing as a team, they nailed it. This game very heavily relies on people cooperating. However, that being said, some abilities are definitely better than others, causing a wide array of balancing issues. It doesn't take you long to realize all you gotta do is just spawn a bunch of those healing pads alongside some buffs and putting a shield around yourself, and before you know it, you've already broken the game. Like, it hasn't taken players long to figure out the most effective combinations of abilities and characters, and how to abuse it. I mean, after like several playthroughs of almost all of these characters, like most people, I ended up resorting to just playing as Tio. All you gotta do is play him and realize how unbalanced the cooldown is on certain abilities and weapons. Although I will say, it is an impressive amount of characters to have at launch, with an impressive amount of abilities. Here's the thing, outside of their utility and their usage, I do not see any single player being encouraged to want to get skins for any of these characters. As much as people want to say designs don't matter, they absolutely do. And unfortunately, Concord does not have a single good character design. They're all hideous, they're all cringe, and you will not feel motivated to know more about them. They are bland, dead, soulless corporate creations, which really sucks because that is a huge selling point of the game, is the expansive stories and cinematics that they're going to drop frequently for these characters. But even in the beta alone, nobody cares. Who in the world wants to see a continuation for the story of Dude Boss Girl over here? Or how about the gay robot with pronouns? Or their blatant knockoff version of Drax? If you want an actual, proper, complete narrative experience, you may as well just play the Guardians of the Galaxy game. Because this game shamelessly tries to adopt its aesthetics. I guarantee you, not a single character here will ever be memorable. These characters aren't even good enough to have their own porn like Overwatch. That's how forgettable they are, and that's how much players are invested in them. They don't even want to see them unclothed. We also can't forget this is the first-person shooter Sony has released in nearly a decade. And it shows because, well, the PlayStation fanboys like MPG can't even play it.
Dude, I feel like, look at this. Like, what kind of pea shooter is this? It's like not doing anything.
I need some backup.
Like, it just does like no damage.
Oh my god! It's been so long since they've gotten their hands on a first-person shooter. Holy shit. But of course, that's what you guys came here for anyway. You don't care if the game is good or bad. You guys are here for Pony Salt. I know you. You don't have to lie to me. Luckily for you, I have plenty.
The character design in this game fucking slaps. Oh my god.
This is legit the first time I have seen any single person actually make a positive comment on the character designs. First time. It's probably the first time you guys have seen it too. Now, these characters legit look like video game characters that would be in a fake video game that you would see people playing in a movie. They look like the characters that would be in a mobile game ad. In general, it doesn't look like they were ever intentionally supposed to leave a sketchbook. They look like placeholders. They don't look like a finalized stylized character. The worst part is when you see them in motion in the character selection. Every single one of them has a cringe bit of dialogue, including girl boss chick over here. Alright, let's be the fucking...
I'm gonna play as Theo.
Oh my god, the cringe!
The purple lipstick!
The cringe! The girl boss dude. I got your back! Yeah!
Yeah!
Oh my god! Nothing about these characters slaps. They are dorks. Characters designed by complete goofs. Unappealing, and I highly doubt anybody is invested in buying skins. This is not how you sell characters. Why on God's green earth are you making characters resemble the everyday pedestrian you see at Walmart or something? In a fictional setting, they can look like Greek gods for all we care. And they said, no, let's make them look like your everyday Redditor.
Just another Overwatch clone, they said.
Whoa, now easy. You don't have to be that hard on Overwatch. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Overwatch either, but you don't gotta insult it like that. To compare it to Concord, I mean, come on, really? Then again, should we really be surprised from someone's Twitter bio that reads, PS5 the GOAT? If they came here to see me keep the same energy, you came to the wrong place. 45 platinum trophies, 39k gamer score. Let's face it, if Microsoft had made Concord, it would be the laughing stock of the internet. I think some people are a little more forgiving because it is PlayStation. If we're being quite honest, I mean, that tax is heavy. Right now, PlayStation is not in a good place because they tried making a clone with Foam Stars, and now another clone with Concord, and then they tried to outright copy Smash Bros. With PlayStation All-Stars. I mean, is there any original multiplayer this company can come up with? Like I said, perhaps Helldivers 2 was just pure luck. Honest to God, you're better off playing Sea of Thieves on PlayStation than you are playing Concord on PlayStation. I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, the only person amused by his gameplay is, well, himself. I think it's fair to say PlayStation fanboys are in denial. The next multiplayer game they had to look forward to, since Helldivers 2 is on a steep decline, was Concord, and it turns out to be not worth anybody's time nor a dime. And per usual, of course, they want to make it all about Xbox, even though this is 100% a failure on Firewalk Studios, and as well, partially on Sony, for greenlighting this and saying, yeah, that is gonna be the next hot thing. Sony has lost touch. Holy shit. Anyways, I don't want to talk about this shitty ass game anymore. In fact, instead, I don't really want to talk about boring topics anymore. I want to talk about unfiltered stuff. You know what I'm talking about. The newsworthy stuff. And for that reason, I've opened another channel, Fratanga Says, where you will get bite-sized memes of the current lunacy going on outside your window right now in the real world. Think of me as a better version of memeology with commentary. If you want to see more of what I've got to say and show the world, well, feel free to subscribe. Or don't. you can subscribe to this channel instead. Or both, you know. Both would be nice. It's really up to you. Anyways, thank you all for joining. I'll see you on the next one.
Free Congo sucks ass.